Okay, I don't know what that was. We'll do part 2 of this video. So where I left off was an hour. My biopsy's at 11:45. I gotta be there 10:45. Fill out the paperwork because it's not just the typical MRI. It is an MRI biopsy, so I have a lot of paperwork to fill out, which kind of, I filled out, I think, one piece of paper for the ultrasound biopsy, so I can't imagine it's any different than an MRI ultrasound biopsy other than an MRI machine. So they made it sound like I have a bunch of paper to fill out. I don't know what that would be. And then I take my medicine, sit there for an hour, wait for the medicine to work, then go into a 3-hour biopsy. And then there was a 2 o'clock appointment to review biopsy results, and then a 3 o'clock appointment, which I have no idea is. So I have a lot of tests still, and well, this test, and this should be the last test, and then 2 days. So hopefully by the end of this week I will have the results of both the ultrasound biopsy, MRI biopsy, all 4. They might biopsy 2 spots tomorrow, and then they'll verify the clip placement of the ultrasound biopsy. So if the clip placement, so they biopsy and then they leave a clip there, and to know where they biopsied. So if the clip placement is in the right place, they don't have to biopsy those regions. But if it's in the wrong place, and if they thought, you know, if they were biopsying the wrong spot, then they have to do that in MRI. So hopefully this MRI is the last biopsy that I have to do, wait for the results, and then see the surgeon again. I will, once I get the results, I will be sending the results to Mayo Clinic. I will be getting a second opinion at Mayo Clinic. Because one of the things I'm considering, I have a small mass. I think they 15 millimeters. However, my breasts are so dense that this was missed last year. So I had my first mammogram last year. This was there because what I've been reading is it takes 6 to 8 years for this to start forming a mass. My tissue is dense. They can't see it. Missed it last year, caught it this year. So I probably have to do mammograms every 6 months, alternating MRIs every 6 months. And I hate the MRI machine. I mean, there's nothing worse for me than somebody claustrophobic having to go in the machine for an hour, and then the chance of reoccurrence. And I've been really considering a double mastectomy because once you go through it, you never want to go through it again. The waiting game. I mean, they tell you plan A is going to happen, and then you're on plan B, and then plan C, and before you know it, you're on plan. I mean, it changes so much. They think they know what is going on. They tell you that, and one little thing changes, and you're already off course. So it's just, I don't ever want to go through this again. Chances of reoccurrence of lumpectomy really low, but I just want to know that nothing's growing in my tissue, and nothing's going to grow in my tissue if I don't have any tissue. So I will be going to Mayo to get a second opinion and talk about lumpectomy versus mastectomy, but double bilateral, I think they call it bilateral mastectomy, and getting a second opinion about doing that, and then also about tests that I can do because I have dense tissue. Mayor Sanford hasn't done anything up to this point about dense tissue. It's just, we're going to continue ultrasounds, our mammograms, and see what we can see. Well, I don't want to know. Even if you go in and do your mammograms, there's always going to be a thought of, it says they're clear, but did they really see everything? I mean, because clearly last year they missed something. So That's kind of what we're doing. Yesterday was probably the worst day that I've ever had. It's just, you know, right now they say I don't need chemo, but chemo scares the living shit out of me. And I don't know, pending these results, if there's, so far it looks like no chemo, and I would be blessed if I have to, if I don't have to have chemo. If I do have to have chemo, we'll get through it. But I just, you know, I feel like I could lose one piece of me, but not both. Like losing my hair and my breasts, that's, you know, what makes me a woman. And if I lose both of them, you know, I feel like I'm gonna lose my femininity. So I'm hoping for one of the two, not both of them. I'm praying for that option, and we will see at the end of this week what the results are.